Hi guys, it's me, Susan. Today is day 110 of the Cancer Club, and it's a Friday night. Hope you all are, well, if you're home watching your YouTube, you've already either had your fun or you're not having any tonight. You're stuck with me. But that's cool. I love Friday nights, and going out has nothing to do with it. Actually, staying home usually has more to do with my kind of fun. Um, which means relaxing, and I'm going to watch a little, maybe a movie, or so I like to watch old TV series that I enjoyed. I happen to be watching um, Boston Legal right now, all the episodes that I missed in the past, because I happen to love William Shatner. But anyway, I'm wearing my shiny cowboy hat, and this is to remind you all, the ones of you that live in San Antonio, that this is the last weekend you can catch the rodeo. It's tons of fun just even to walk around the grounds and just soak up all the sights, and the food is kind of, I mean, you could really get fat there if you stayed very long. But um, anyway, what I was going to talk to you about tonight was just to give you a little summary of about the 5 love languages. I have referred to love languages before, I think, in some of the things I've talked about, but I wanted to get a little specific. So you could maybe, you can certainly look online and take little quizzes. There's a bunch of love language quizzes online to see what your primary one is. But let me tell you what the 5 of them are. And 5 is an arbitrary number. The guy who I can't remember his name right now, who wrote the book, there have been many, many iterations of the book in different forms, different focus. But 5 is arbitrary, but it seems to cover a lot of bases, so I'll tell you what they are. Usually I can remember 4 right away, and then I have to struggle for the 5th one, but let's see. Words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts. Okay, that last one may be a little weird, but we'll talk about that too. I mean, it's not really weird, but it just seems to not fit in with the other ones. The concept being that we all have a kind of preferred way, or a preferred sense of what is loving to us, or what love feels like. A lot of it has to do, obviously, with your how you learn to experience love in your childhood, how you grew up experiencing love, what your natural tendencies are, your personality, and your past experiences. The what was the first one I said? Words of affirmation is something. Actually, we usually think that women are more interested in that type of love language, but I feel that men are too. They just won't complain about it as much, although every now and then you'll hear a man talking about how he does not feel appreciated. But we typically expect that women are walking around saying that. Words of affirmation are ways that you tell the other person that you value them, that you admire them, that you see them as worthwhile and interesting people, that you like them, that you see qualities in them that you can reflect back to them. When you can say, I really admire the way you handled that situation. I like the way you're able to stay calm in the middle of chaos. I especially appreciate the way you manage to think about me, even though you've got so much else going on. For a woman to say to a man, I appreciate the way that you work hard to take care of our family. Okay, that's words of appreciation that are sometimes taken for granted, but I think that especially for someone who needs to hear those things in order to be reminded or to believe that they are worthwhile, they're real important. So if you happen to be a person who doesn't express feelings that much, or doesn't talk that much, and you have a partner who values words of affirmation, you're probably better off trying to learn some, like a language, like a few phrases in a phrase book, so when you go to that foreign land where they speak words of affirmation, you'll be able to say something, because otherwise you're going to get probably a lot of complaining, possibly some depression from your partner if they don't actually put it into words. And that probably could be true for all the love languages, but especially that one that relies on words. The second one that I mentioned is quality time, and that's kind of has to be defined by each couple, because quality time is supposed to mean time that you spend with each other, but experiencing each other, interacting with each other, maybe even doing something together, but sharing it in a way that feels intimate. In other words, sitting and watching a TV show together, for some couples that may feel like quality time. For other couples it doesn't, or for another person it doesn't. They want to really feel like your attention is on them, and we're talking about you're interested in my feelings. You want to know what I think about things. You listen when I talk. That kind of time, not just time when you're doing the same thing at the same time. Okay, the third one, physical touch. I guess it speaks for itself. Some people have been raised in families where physical touch is very rare. Affection is not demonstrated in that way. It could be demonstrated with words, but hugging, patting, soothing and comforting is just not in the language of the family. And sometimes those people, interestingly enough, they desire it very much, but they don't know how to receive it because it feels odd to them. And if you are part of a couple where one person has a strong need for physical touch and uses that as a way of gauging whether they are loved, and you happen to be a more maybe I don't know, holding back kind of person, or not that expressive, not that comfortable using physical touch, if you all don't talk about this, that can really be a very serious strain in a relationship, because you're just being yourself, and you don't understand that the other person is feeling unloved. And it's again, it's like the idea of learn how to speak another language, and hopefully communicate your needs to that person so that they can learn to speak more of yours, and it will be a successful communication. There's a kind of a sharing. You don't have to make it your primary language if it isn't, but you should be willing to try to learn how to express it in the other person's language. Plus, it'll help you grow a little bit too. I think that we have primary love languages, but we all have aspects of the other four languages, and those are things that as you develop those are parts of yourself that maybe could be developed more, especially in response to the needs of your partner, who might have one of those secondary languages of yours be her primary language, or his. Acts of service is, gee, thank you for picking up my dry cleaning. That's an acknowledgement of an act of service. I appreciate that how well you take care of the family. Doing things for the other person because you know that they're important to them. A willingness to give of yourself, of your time, of your effort, your energy, and to enhance the other person, to strengthen the other person. That's an act of service. Finding something picking out something in the store that you know that they like. Doing a task, a chore at home because you know they don't like doing it for them. Not necessarily expecting praise, although it would be nice to receive it, but an act of service is something, and also it's a way of expressing love in other relationships as well. We do things for people that we care about. Finally, receiving gifts. Some people are embarrassed to admit that that's one of their love languages, but and especially we recently had Valentine's Day, and this is almost the caricature of men running around knowing that they've got to get a gift for their significant other. But some people are really much more touched and moved and affected by the feeling that someone has thought of them enough to buy a gift for them, to make a gift for them, to think of them in a way of wanting to give them something that they like. And that again, a lot of in a lot of couples, there's a disconnect there where the one person values it, the other person doesn't at all, and doesn't even understand why the other one's always disappointed. Maybe even thinks they're selfish or greedy or materialistic, when it's really a love language. And you can talk about these things and negotiate them if you feel that you don't want to express your affection that way. But sharing feelings is always an important way to try to resolve any differences of opinion or disconnects. Disconnects are so common when people don't understand what each other's love languages are. And so again, you might go, if you search on the internet for love language, 5 love languages, or a love language quiz, you will find a lot of them that will help you place yourself on this hierarchy of 5 languages and your partner, and some fun conversations can result from that if you're willing to kind of share notes and compare how the two of you see the expression and receiving of love. Sorry, got a few words with friends coming in right now. Anyway, there I go again, and I am looking forward to seeing you again. I will be posting on Monday, the 24th, because that is the anniversary of Mike, my husband's passing. February 24th, 2010 was when he left and went on to the great adventure that follows. And at the time, I wrote some things out of life lessons that I learned from Crawdad, which is what we called him. And I'm going to be sharing some of those with you on Monday. So I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you Monday. In the meantime, live well, laugh often, and love much. And have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday on the Cancer Club. Bye.